Hello, this is Eric Harrington. This is my midterm report of status on Better Sports Through Analytics. Initially, a file was provided by the research team that we were working with in mid-September. This file was a partial set of data holding measurements and injury information from the past 2 years. The data was de-identified with one row of information per research subject, around 220 rows. The columns of measurements were arranged by subject and then by year. The full data file was delivered in early October with over 300 observations and over 600 columns total. The first step in preparing for the analysis of this data was to examine the data and see what roles each column would need to play in analysis. All numeric data was stored in float format, including columns that were meant to be binary or nominal in nature. These were all switched to integer forms. Injury data was collected by adding groups of columns across the data set instead of as a linked set of rows on a separate sheet. This led to having many empty columns. For example, there were a set of columns for injury 1 retrospective, injury 2 retrospective, all the way up to injury 11 retrospective, regardless of whether a particular subject had that many injuries. Then there were prospective injuries, the ones that were encountered during the study. A flag column was included that indicated pre-study injuries, but there was not one for injuries experienced while in school. This column was added. Beginning the analysis process, I started off by sequestering each year's worth of measurements together so that we had 3 clusters of columns. The research team expressed interest in studying injury outcomes based on measurements respecting particular body areas, such as hips or knees. Currently, we are working with the research team to determine the granularity of data to be used in each report. All studies that are run will present a set of reports by each study year so that there will be an opportunity to do year-by-year comparisons. The plan at present is to concentrate on defining detailed research scenarios that will be explored. We'll also determine what analytic methods will best suit the research team's needs, whether they be simple correlation reports, decision tree, or neural network predictive analytics, or any other options that are available. We'll also continue learning other analytic tools to use to see what other reports might be generated and made available to the team. All reports should be completed by the end of November.